What is going down, you guys? Goodness, great. This is one of my favorite songs ever. Is this Breaker Breaker? This is Jizza, dude. I think it's Jizza. Yeah, this is Breaker Breaker. If you've never heard Breaker Breaker, dude, like I was born and raised in California, man. You can see from my steez that I'm not from around here. I might live in Nashville, but I was raised with underground hip hop, man. I was raised with People Under the Stairs, Wu Tang, Jizza, Method Man, Redman, Tribe Called Quest, all the OGs, man. And it's such a deep rooted essence of my soul. I was raised with hip hop. It's really interesting. You don't really realize how influenced you are until you start acting as not acting, but sharing yourself authentically. Same. And so you're sitting here and you're going who am I really? And you don't remember, your identity isn't wrapped up with what your thoughts are, your feelings, or what you've done or anything like that. My soul, bro. What's up, girl? And you are not your thoughts. So your identity is not the things that you think about. It's not the things that you do. It's not what you call yourself. Mac 10, Ice Cube. Yeah, dude. For real, for real. And so what we look at is through the area of self-growth, personal development, expression, Bruce Lee's philosophy of the honest expression of self. It is basically saying, I don't care what you think about me, dude. So many people, comments every day, especially on Facebook. If you took your two hats off, bro, maybe I could take you seriously. Pauly Short. Everybody, not everybody, not y'all. You guys are amazing. But there's a massive group of people that think that this is who I am. This is what judgment is. Judgment is assuming that you have all of the information so you can place an actual definitive characteristic or defining concept on a person. This is why we don't practice judgment, because once we judge something or label something, then we act accordingly, right? And so this is where operating under assumptions is self-punishment. You're punishing yourself. Why do you wear two hats though? This one is for my ears. So this is just a wrap, right? I look kind of dumb with this. This is just a wrap. This wrap is for my ears. So for example, I have the door open right now and I'm in Tennessee. So a cold breeze could give me an ear infection. And so it's to keep my ears warm. But this looks stupid. I don't like this. Maybe I could shape this. If I bring it back, I bring it down a little bit. Okay, I got a little flavor. But I just recorded a video and I had this hat on and I like this. It adds style. It adds flavor. And most people go why do you wear two hats? It's a great conversational piece. Who wears two hats? And then if I wear my sweatshirt and my hood, I'm wearing three hats. And then amazing people come in here and they do the hat thing and then I'm wearing four hats. And I've released videos of people going why do you wear that? Why, man? Why? And here's something else. This is something I don't do. Led Zeppelin, ZZ Top, the Eagles. Me too, dude. I love that. My dad got me into classic rock. That shit'll never die. It's not really a hat then. No, it's not a hat. It's a wrap. Technically, it is one of those face mask things. So if I pull this thing down, it is one of those long, sometimes you see people with the skull thing like this. It is one of those folded in half. Dude, I love you. I love me too. I love you more though. And it's just folding in half. It's just to protect my ears. And that's pretty much that. Plus, I have ADHD and hypersensitive. So I have tinnitus as well. So when I touch this, it's super duper loud. And it kind of creates this subtle, almost like the wind is blowing. And it distracts me from that high pitch beep that is tinnitus. It sucks. So I'm in the dark and I can't stop drinking at the moment. Dude, that's perfect, dude. Well, check it out. You're allowed to turn the light on. Another way of saying that is you are the light that turns on. Look, dude, drink your water, man. I'm not out here to punish you or make you feel bad. And I couldn't do that anyway. That's entirely up to you. If you're in the dark and you're drinking right now on Wednesday at 12 in the afternoon, we've got to start drinking water, man. There's things that we can be giving we could be practicing. We want to practice self-love. And so this is the video that I just released, right? I'm encouraging, man. If you're drinking right now, I'm encouraging you to skip this. Go watch the video I just released, my latest one. It's called Drinking into Oblivion. And it's about drinking into darkness. And here's the phrase. This is what someone is commenting. There's two phrases that piqued someone's interest. And one of them was, we don't change the past with hate. We change our future with love, man. So you can't drink the past away. Technically, it doesn't even exist. It's just up here. It's just a memory. It's not real. But your brain doesn't know the difference. So when we think about those things, your brain assumes it to be true. Thank you, psychedelic. Your brain assumes it to be true. It literally, neurologically, physically, your brain does not know that's not happening. So if the reasons you're drinking is a story that you're telling yourself, then your brain is under the assumption that your body needs to be in fight or flight mode. It needs to hide. It needs to do these things. It needs to protect itself. That's called a dysregulated nervous system. So your body is going to influence you to create safety. Safety is with alcohol. Even though it hurts, even though you're sad, even though you're upset. Kohdi, what's up, girl? Even though you are perturbed and disgruntled about what you're thinking about how you're feeling, your body is under the impression that it is literally happening right in front of you, which means that if we don't start changing our thoughts, we're not going to get any new feelings like us being right here. So we're not going to take any new actions. And so this is where the cycle of addictive behavior comes in. If your body is more powerful than your mind and has the power of influencing you with your thoughts, I feel like shit, we must survive, then you are always going to go towards what's most familiar. So if this is whiskey, then my body's going to go, we need a drink. You're going to agree with that because it feels like a thought. It feels like you thought it, but you didn't think it because you would never choose to poison yourself on purpose. You would never a conscious, healthy thought would never arise. A conscious thought would never arise in a negative way with a healthy body. It just wouldn't. You wouldn't be sitting here going, God, I feel so good today. You know what I need? I need to run headfirst into the wall. That's a good idea. Your body doesn't do that. Your body goes, I feel so good. I want to continue feeling good, and I'm going to feel better with more water, with more juice, with less alcohol or whatever that is. So remember this, man. You're not choosing alcohol right now. You're choosing survival. If you're in the dark right now, drinking alcohol at 12 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, you're not choosing alcohol. You're choosing survival. You're choosing to survive your thoughts. You're choosing to survive your environment. You're choosing to survive your physical pains, emotional distraught. Alcohol is a coping mechanism. Your mom's in the dark. She probably is. My mom was in the dark for about 60 years. That's because my dad kept her on drugs most of my life. My dad physically sexually abused my mother, had put my mother in such a dark place that she attempted to take herself out 3 times, and I was there for one of them. The beautiful part about my mother being in the dark is she's the reason why I'm so fucking strong. She's 60 years old, 60 plus, and she drank and was an alcoholic a majority of her life and was forced against her will into slavery through my father and through the other men and through all of the absolutely horrendous shit most people on the planet will never deal with. She is the reason why the backbone of the Beyond Sober program is don't fix the problem, fix why it happens. My mother has gone through surgeries. She's had to save herself. She's saved others. My mother is one of the strongest people I've ever met, and I love the fact that she's been in the dark because she is the light. She's become the light in the darkness, and that's what we all are, that darkness. We all are the light. And the trippy part is once I created Beyond Sober, it's no coincidence that I was able to teach my mother how to live a life that she loves and stop punishing herself for what my father did to her. Facts. This is the beautiful part about loving yourself into a future. You can't fix the past with hate. You could only love yourself into a future. We don't practice. Hate gets more hate, dude. Only unhealthy people want to see other people in the dark. It's lonely in there, huh? That's probably why you see the darkness. You embrace the darkness. You think that's what life is. Life is darkness. It can be if you've convinced yourself that life is happening to you. But when you actually accept the fact that life is happening for you, including fat people who have found themselves in unfortunate circumstances, thought patterns, genetic conditions, environments that encourage fat-like behavior, people that struggle with obesity, people that struggle with eating disorders, drug addiction, all of that shit. Nobody can escape the fact that they are human. This is the fact. This is why I don't talk about problems. We talk about the person. We talk about the human. Man, maintaining sobriety is so difficult, though. You got to remember this. So maintaining sober means you're struggling to say yes to other things. Every time you say yes to water, you're saying no to alcohol. And this is why I say sobriety is easy when you're focusing on your happiness. Sobriety is easy when you're looking forward to the future. Sobriety means you're in between drinks. There's still a chance that you might have a drink, either because you're struggling to do other things, or you still have all the same neurological codes and processes that feel like you're addicted to something, or the only thing you want to do is that. Sobriety is time. Remember this, dude. If the time in sobriety is full of things that help you recover, you have the perfect amount of time to design a life you don't have to escape from. Time doesn't heal. Time is punishment. Time is waiting. This is the unfortunate concept that we're not taught. We go like, hey man, it's been 2 weeks since your last drink. Why aren't you fixed yet? Why don't you have a job yet? Why aren't you happy yet? You're still depressed? You don't drink alcohol anymore. Time doesn't heal. Energy does. So with the time you've created for yourself by not drinking, what are you doing with your energy? Only energy heals. Only energy heals. Energy is recovery. Sobriety is time. So we can't sit through sobriety and expect recovery to happen because nobody's coming. The answer isn't on the way. You are the answer. So if we need to make sure Band-Aids heal. Band-Aids prevent outside resources by continuing to inflict pain upon the wound. They don't heal shit. A Band-Aid, my hand is a Band-Aid. You don't not exist because I can't see you. I have a Band-Aid of a blindfold on. I could sit here the whole time and you could watch me this whole time. This Band-Aid, as soon as I pull it off, you still exist. So the circumstances are still there. I've just given myself a break from looking at you. That doesn't mean anything is different. From my perspective, I've given myself enough time to decide what I want to say, what I want to feel, what I want to do. Based on this Band-Aid right here, I can choose what I want to do. I'm choosing to continue the conversation from a progressive standpoint, to bring light to the absolute of that Band-Aids don't heal, Band-Aids don't work, Band-Aids are a fucking illusion. Alcohol is a Band-Aid, drugs are a Band-Aid, narcissism is a Band-Aid, sex is a Band-Aid. It's a form of escapism. These are all there to help us pretend like there isn't a problem. Everything is a choice, including not to heal. Nobody chooses addiction. They choose survival. They choose to struggle forward. And addiction is the repercussion of having to survive your circumstances. These are absolute facts. People don't even think about it like that. They go like, no, he just chooses alcohol. He would prefer to punish himself with alcohol than deal with the emotional repercussions of knowing that he failed you. Absolute facts. It's easier just to punish yourself with the poison and use the density of that pain to go like, trust me, I care about you, than it is to actually sober up and face all the bullshit that person created. It's way easier. That's choosing survival. They're attempting to survive their own emotions. Cheers without water, my friends. Without water, my friend. And thank you so much for saying what you just said. God bless. Oh, dude, you're so welcome. You're the best. I appreciate you. Sobriety is hard. Happiness is hard, too. Success is hard. Physical fitness is hard. Eating breakfast is hard, right? Taking care of ourselves is hard. Sobriety is easy when you're taking care of yourself. Remember this, dude. Time is waiting. Waiting is punishment. Waiting is thinking that the moment in the future is more important than this moment right now. So, of course, sobriety is going to be difficult because you're waiting for something to change. Nothing's changing. You're not even changing. If you're doing nothing to change your thoughts, doing nothing to change your emotions, doing nothing to change your behavior, then all you're doing is punishing yourself by waiting for something to show up that is not. It is not showing up. Health, happiness, abundance is not showing up because you're not drinking. I stress the importance of this because you could wait your entire life and be miserable and have done zero amount of work in your recovery, which means you've punished yourself literally to death without your coping mechanism, which is even worse. So if we don't put our energy into going for walks, drinking water, resting, mindfulness, meditation, whatever it is that makes sense to you, then we're just waiting for a reason to have another drink so we could punish ourselves by saying that we relapsed. It's not a relapse, by the way. Just because you went 60 days and decided to drink, that's not a relapse. That's just a lapse in your sobriety. If you don't have a physical addiction to alcohol or some substance, you can't relapse because there's no addiction there. A lapse in your sobriety and a relapse, two different things. A relapse means you were physically addicted, you chose to stop, you got the support you needed, you were medically healing and getting better, you were actually recovering, and then something happened, right? It could be a death in the family, it could be you hurt yourself or whatever it is. You decided to consume, and now you are worse since you consumed. All of the healing that you did is starting to backtrack. You don't feel that good anymore. You lost your job now. You're in jail. You came back. Your body's worth. Your liver is failing. Whatever it is, you are worse now. That's a relapse. And then not only did it get worse, it's getting harder for you to stop again. That's making an excessive amount of progress physically and mentally, and then consuming, and now you're worse than you were before. That's a relapse, going backwards. A lapse in your sobriety, not the same. It means you went 60 days and then boop, decided to drink. Nothing's different. You just keep going. You go right back to being as sober as you were. This is it. If this is your sober days not drinking, you drink. Now what happens is you just go back one day and then keep moving. It's a lapse in your sobriety. Totally fine. Not encouraged, and I'm not promoting that shit. Because there are people that if they lapse, then they may have trouble stopping. If that's the circumstance, if once again you decide that alcohol or your substance is the appropriate decision in the time and that's the best you could come up with, it means that we have some areas in our recovery that we need to give our attention to. Most people lapse in their sobriety because they've been waiting for a reason to drink. They haven't been healing the reasons why they think poison is the best idea. They haven't been putting anything or very minimal efforts, could be environment, could be job, could be family, whatever, that have taken the energy away from them. And because of the remaining energy they have, they go, okay, well, with the remaining willpower and energy I have, I'm choosing not to drink. They're still thinking about alcohol. They're still thinking about what they're not supposed to do. They're still thinking about all the stuff that makes them want to drink, but they're using their willpower, which is a muscle, not to consume. Willpower gives out, man. This is why if we don't change our environment with energy, then we're going to be constantly swirling around the same thoughts, feelings, and our potential and probability of taking the same answer is almost 100%. When my dad died in September and I spiraled so bad, yeah, I get that, man. That makes sense. One of the things that I want to remind everybody of is when there's a death in the family, when there is a circumstance where we've lost somebody or even lost a portion of ourselves or whatever it is, we are not respecting the love we have for those people by drinking ourselves to death. I've died before, and the last thing that I thought was, it was so worth it. All the pain, all the anguish, all the turmoil, all the trauma, all that stuff, so worth it. Because what's on the other side of that is astronomical amounts of peace. The other thought that I had was, I'm not worried about them. And the reason why I said I'm not worried about them is because I know that everybody that used to have my attention has everything they need to take care of themselves. To punish yourself is a human thing. Thinking that if you hurt long enough, you're respecting that person back into existence. That the pain is important. That you must feel like absolute shit. Otherwise, you're not respecting the love you have. Remember, grief is just unexpressed love. It's the love that you wish you could have shared with that person. You could grieve your job. You could grieve your future. You could grieve a concept. You could grieve a limb. You could grieve the fucking plants. Grief is grief. Grief is not because something bad happens. It's here as an emotional response to the unexpressed love you wish you could have said. That's fucking painful, dude. We want to sit there, we want to embrace that and allow that type of mourning and grief to sit with us so we can better curate a future out of respect for the amount of love that we have with and for that person or for that circumstance. That goes for our past too. I'm not as good of a person as I am. Hey, what's up, Alyssa? I'm not as good of a person as I believe I am today because I hate who I was. I can't hate myself into a better past. I have love and admiration and respect for what that guy did, man. If it wasn't for what that guy did, the old version of me, I wouldn't have an opportunity to live. That dude struggled my whole life so I could have a chance at being here with you. Hey, I'm back. What's up, dude? If it wasn't for him, all the bad shit, all the good shit, all the discontent, all of this stuff. How do you save this live, bro? It'll be on BeyondSoberTV.com. And it'll be on the podcast too. So BeyondSoberPodcast.com. We give love to the old version of ourselves that developed the strength to get us to where we are. Even if where we are isn't where we want to be. That version had to do what they did in the way that they did it because of who they were in those circumstances. But they were the ones that generated, or that version of you is the one that generated the unfuckwittable tools and strengths and resources and experiences for you to transmute that pain into purpose, right? Am I married? Not yet. We take that pain, which is what that last video, look, my moment of clarity was worth the lifetime of pain. When we are upset, we look at this and we say, my moment of clarity was not worth the lifetime of pain. This means we're still holding on to a grudge and we are refusing to forgive ourselves for the circumstances that unfolded. Nobody chooses to be in pain, man. We choose to struggle forward. We choose to be strong. We choose to do what's necessary so we can validate that the pain was worth it. Remember this, every time you choose pain, you're attempting to validate that that pain is worth the pleasure. That's what an actual hangover is us justifying the amount of pain we're going to be in tomorrow against the fun and worthiness of today. So when we change, when we really, really choose pain and anguish, when we choose to get involved with certain things, or we allow people to stomp on us, or we find ourselves in circumstances that are less preferable and have a dimension of pain associated with them, we have chosen and committed to the fact that it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it because, hey, what's up? It's worth it because. Either it's worth it because you think you deserve it, or it's worth it because you think it's molding you into something unstoppable. It's all perspective. But if we find ourselves in a situation or a circumstance where that pain is no longer serving us, then we must transmute that pain into purpose, into wisdom, into guidance, into direction, into clarity. That happened for you. It's not happening to you. Here's the different part of this. Every time you tell that story to yourself, you are happening to you. That's a continued decision. Ray Dog's in the building. What's up, baby? That's a continued reflection of something you don't want. If you don't change the thought, then you're choosing it. If you don't choose peace, then you are choosing pain. These are all realities. And so we have to look at this and go like, what am I choosing to do? It's not that I'm choosing to drink. What's before that? I'm choosing to tell the same fucking story again and again and again and again, and my brain thinks it's real, and I feel like shit, and I have a reason to hate, and I have a reason to be in pain, and I have all this shit. I'm choosing to say the same thing in the exact same way, or find more information about that same thing to validate how I feel. Every time I feel like this, I have an excuse to drink, and so I'm constantly creating this fucking universe of anguish, which allows me to feel better about hurting myself. That's alcohol for you, man. Because healthy you would never choose that. Healthy us would never choose that. We would never allow that in our lives. So your mind can and will deceive you, correct. Your mind, your brain will. Your mind won't. Your brain is just a sponge. Your brain is just a lump of jello in a dark room. Like literally, that's what your skull is. Your skull is a dark room, and your brain is just this big lump of jello. There is nothing there. right? Without your consciousness and without a mind, a functioning electrical signal through that lump of jello, there's nothing. There's literally nothing. No spirit, no soul, no energy, no nothing. But once it's activated, which is how we're born, once that thing is activated, we use our sight, our sounds, our touch, our taste, we use our sixth senses, we use our intuition, and that's what the brain is using to figure out what the fuck is happening outside of the skull. Have you ever seen that picture of it's just a brain and then a whole nervous system attached to it? That's all that we are. We are just a brain and a nervous system. This is our meat suit. This is what the nervous system uses to touch and feel and understand what the hell is outside of the skull. That is the interesting part. So what you give the brain, it's going to accept it to be true, because why on earth would you feed it something that is not true? Why would you do that? What is the point? At what point does the brain benefit from us creating a false reality? It doesn't benefit. That's the unfortunate part. So we look at this and we tell this story, which is wrong. 50% of what we remember is inaccurate, not true, amplified, expressed, has emotions attached to it. It's not what we think it is. It can't be. We don't even remember the original reason. We just remember the feeling in the circumstances associated with it. Our memory does not remember it 100%. Half of what we recall isn't true. But it's those untruths, it's those things that we hang on to that tell the brain that we're supposed to feel like this because it's real. Your brain doesn't know that it's not actually happening. Your brain has no idea that you weren't just in a car accident. You were just thinking about the car accident. So the appropriate response is to kick on that nervous system and make you feel tense, right? You're about to hit a wall. This is why if we don't practice thinking, Ray Dog, then thinking happens to us. And so we sit with ourselves and go like, okay, brain, I see how you've been programmed. I didn't choose to do that. Like, that wasn't something that I would never program you to make me feel like shit. I would never intentionally say things or feed you information that was inaccurate to what's actually happening outside the skull. Remember this, your brain accepts all information whether you're aware of it or not. So if we don't actively practice creating a future from a place of love, then our brain is physically and emotionally, neurologically, and chemically responding based on what it does. That's all it does. It's a computer to what accidentally was absorbed. That's where trauma is, man. That's what PTSD is. A sudden shock to the system, a sudden revelation of pain or of anguish, a sudden shift in the coding that makes things make sense. When things don't make sense anymore, we're supposed to figure that out. When we get nervous, we have anxiety and all those things. I needed this. I'm so happy for you. So we have to look at these things and go like, okay, if my body feels good, it's got water, it's got rest, it's got food, good food, right? It's got the nutrients handled. It's getting decent exercise. I'm going for walks, I'm going to the gym or whatever, right? Going for a hike or just moving, right? And then I have positive thoughts. Remember, your brain knows, accepts it to be true. I'm the shit. I'm amazing. I'm strong. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I'm abundant. I am peaceful. I am expressive. I'm creative. Whatever that is, these are affirmations. Your brain goes, we feel great. So I don't have to tell you what to do. I love all these thoughts that you're saying because there's no reason why they wouldn't be true because they're here. And then we're starting to align ourselves. And then our brain and body, that's that connection, they work together. And then we start to feel at ease. We start to feel just so good. We start to feel right here. Because you consciously can be thinking all of these future thoughts or present thoughts, but your body is stuck in the past. Your body chemically and neurologically thinks you're still in a war zone. That's why time doesn't heal. Energy does. We must actively feed our body and our mind new information so it can code itself to believe and know and act as we're in the right place, we're exactly who we want to be, and we love where we're going. That's what recovery is. That's 100% what recovery is. Depression is living in the past, thinking about the past. And your emotions don't come from the future. They come from the past. It's a chemical response. There's 1,400 chemicals in your body right now. It's a chemical concoction, a chemical response that is reflective based on the thoughts that you're having. So remember this. If you're having 40 to 70,000 thoughts a day, and you're only aware of a few of those, and 40% of those thoughts are negative against you, that are telling you that life is shit, that you ain't shit. But then also 90% of the thoughts that you're having today were the exact same as yesterday, then your body is chemically and neurologically living physically in the past. This is why what we do today is preparing us for tomorrow. All life is preparation for an abundant, peaceful, expressive life full of love and energy and positivity and optimism and all the beautiful. 222, I love this. Emotions come from where? Emotions come from the past. You can't have a futuristic emotion. You can't feel something you haven't already had a taste of, right? So what that means is, same with your thoughts. You're not having a future thought right now. Your nervous system. You're not sitting here and going like, this thought feels futuristic. It's definitely not from this dimension. All of your thoughts are derivative of everything that you've thought, felt, experienced, right? Including debating whether or not Kohdi is gay or not. He only says that based on everything he's ever experienced. Every single thing in Kohdi's experience, Kohdi, has led him to conclude that gay, it has to be. There's no other possible. The interesting part is, can you imagine how many times he must have been confronted with the concept of gay to look at me or look at a concept, look at idea, and to literally conclude that as the best answer. When you add up everything that you see, everything that you feel gay, and then you project that onto this stupid Polly Shore face, thinking that it changes anything. It changes you. That's the interesting. You're allowed to be gay, bro. Like, sweetie, get it, girl. Like, nobody's gonna be mad at you. Do you, boo? Boo. Nobody's mad. We're so excited for you. So excited. There's a whole world out there for you. And I'm so stoked that this is the place that you feel safe. Okay? Nothing but love here. You can't hate yourself into gayness, but you can love yourself into being a decent human being. You know what I'm saying? With all of that, what we conclude today is not based on the future. It can be based on the illusion of the future, right? It could be based on the concepts of the past, but we're in neither one of those places. We are right here. I blocked them quick. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I forgot I had mods, dude. Do I have mods? Shit, I don't think I have mods anymore. Kohdi, get it, girl. Sweetie. I spent 9 years in like one of the gay capitals of California in Palm Springs, dude. I've played at more gay bars than straight bars, dude. And I'm the token straight guy. I tell you what, I didn't wake up with that list. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. Some of my best friends have all been like just flaming drag queens, dude. And I love them to death, dude. And to be perfectly honest, they have this absolutely phenomenal aspect of general, just like progressive expression. Like, you cannot get more flamboyant. Like, how do you act even greater? Like, you just do. And I love that because it's just so much energy. And they can be miserable as fuck, but they still love this coffee. Like, this is all I need. This is it. Just give me my tea, right? My fucking whatever. It's so amazing, dude. And so, but this is the interesting part, is like, you as us, we humans living in the past, thinking that what we're doing, what we're saying, what we're feeling right now isn't important. It's what happened that's more important than this. It's what might happen is way more important than this. Girl, get it. Just do it. There's nothing wrong. You're allowed to love you. I'll love you. I'll love you for you. Okay? I got enough love for both of us. All right? This is the truth, right? You step into these spaces because we don't care. We don't have to care. We don't have to give our attention to the past. We don't have to let other people affect us. These are all decisions that we're making. And so some of the happiest people you're ever going to meet, and the people that are really going to help shape your perspective of the world, are those that are in the moment, that give themselves permission to be silly and be happy. Kids, man, they got no restriction. That made me think of, they have no restrictions. They just do what they do, man. Everything is a toy because they are conditioned to play with everything. Everything is a toy, not because it's a toy. They're conditioned to play with things, so everything's a toy. That's what life is. There's nothing stopping us from doing all that. There's nothing stopping us from wearing what we want to wear, saying how we truly feel, acting as a better version of us, pretending to be something that we aspire to. Remember, dude, you can't become something unless you pretend to be it first, right? You don't climb trees. You don't get good at climbing trees by by gardening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta fucking start climbing a tree before you're like, I'm at the top, bitch. This is what I do. I climb trees. Like, that's my thing. It doesn't matter. You have to practice and do exactly what that type of person or type of energy does. Obviously, that's more difficult when all of our thoughts, or a majority of them, help us feel like that is unattainable. Like we're not worthy, or we haven't done enough, we don't have enough, we haven't learned enough, we haven't received enough. There is nothing forcing us into that, so we're just taking what we can get. Taking what we can get. I want everybody to remember this, dude. We accept the love we think we deserve, man. And that includes from us, too. We accept the love we think we deserve. And that includes from us. So if we're not loving us, do we not deserve it? The waiter analogy? Yeah, the waiter analogy. Because I suffer from ADHD. I have extreme ADHD, which is why I practice thinking and I meditate every day. Today, I was in meditation. Here's something else. Keep in mind, dude, my ADHD is banana sandwiches, okay? It is, it's the reason why other relationships thought I was the most annoying person on the planet, but it's also directly associated with how successful and how well I can deliver myself. So I don't suffer from ADHD. I love it. I've captivated it. First I had to change my perspective. And this is, I forget, Simon Sinek, I believe it is. He's got ADHD. And he says, look, you have to change your perspective first. You have to change your belief system first. A belief is a commitment to possibility. So you've got ADHD. Is it possible that you have accidentally been born into a fucking super strength? Absolutely. Dude, infinitely possible. But it's up to you to decide whether or not it is a fucking nuisance or it's a superpower. But if you continue finding reasons, if the only thing that you do is look at all the reasons ADHD isn't working for you, then you're spending zero time recognizing how well you're doing because of it. So when we shift our perspective, we start developing a belief. A belief is a commitment to possibility. I'm going to continue saying this and thinking this and believing it by choice, not by knowing, by choice, that it's working for me, right? I'm getting everything done, even though it's not preferred. I'm getting everything done because my brain works so well. It is so good. I could hyper-focus. I could do all these things. I could extrapolate and connect all the dots and do all this crazy shit and steal a bunch of fucking random things and still maintain topic and all that shit. Or I could look at all that shit and go no, nobody likes that. No one likes me and I'm not cool enough. My ADHD keeps me disconnected from everybody and I'm alone. If you choose to say that, choose to believe that it's a problem, then it is. Your brain believes it to be true. Because why would you feed the thing that drives you something that is inaccurate? It is just going to take it. You, from a conscious standpoint, may debate it, but the point is that your brain already accepted it before you even had a thought or feeling about it. It's fucking in there. It's my gift, right? 100%. ADHD is your gift. Your pain is your gift. Manifest it. Your pain is also your purpose. Your pain is also your tool. Your pain is also your fortress. Your pain, your turmoil, your past is also your fucking strength, dude. If you could change your perspective on ADHD and the way your brain works, there is nothing stopping you at all in the history of all history and what may or may never happen, stopping you from going, shit, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me. And if your ADHD is no longer happening to you and it's happening for you because you've shifted your perspective, then what unlocks? Your entire future unlocks simply by committing to the possibility that you're not broken, that you're healing. Hey, you're not broken. I know it feels like you're broken, but you're not the one. You can also say that I'm not the only one in the universe struggling like this. Oh shit, do I feel connected? What? Do I belong to a whole group of people that have always felt like they were broken? That secretly, deep down, and very consciously, I was aware that I didn't want to feel like this, but my brain has just been finding reasons why my belief is true. I'm broken. Oop, that didn't work. Proof that I'm broken. Oh, that kind of fell apart. Proof that I'm broken. Oh, they're not in my life anymore. Proof that I'm broken. Oh, I don't like them anymore. Proof that I can't see. You see what I'm saying? On that same concept, shifting that perspective, bro, girl, why do you think it hurts? It still hurts with the Band-Aid on, right? It's because you're healing. You can't heal from something that isn't hurting. You can't heal from something that wasn't cracked or shattered. Healing is rebuilding. It's rebuilding a foundation stronger than before. Just because it's broken doesn't mean it's permanent. Just because it appears broken doesn't mean you're not getting stronger. The reality comes into, what are you telling your brain? What does your brain believe? What your brain believes is different than from what you believe, right? Your brain is just this head without your thoughts, feelings, emotions, anything. It's just a sponge. It's just a hard drive. It is literally just a piece of it's just your phone in your skull. That's it. Your consciousness, your awareness, you are not your thoughts. You are not your brain. When you hear a thought, you're not hearing you. You are aware of what your brain is saying. Please tell me you understand this, man. This isn't like magic. This is basics, dude. You are hearing what your brain is saying. Body memory, 100%. Your heart thinks before your brain. This is mind-body connection. Heart-brain connection. They're directly connected. You are not thinking that thought unless you actively chose to think that shit. Your brain is thinking a thought and you are hearing it. If you didn't choose to think that thought, then what the actual, bro? Your brain has been conditioned to approve and believe that to be true. You would never tell your brain that on purpose. You would never choose to have that thought that made you feel like you're not worthy. That makes it feel like, what up, Weezy? That makes it feel like you're not enough. You would never choose any type of circumstance or perspective that makes you feel like you don't deserve everything that you've been working towards. Peace and love, happiness, all that shit. You deserve all that stuff. So why do you have the thoughts and why does your body react as if you ain't shit or you haven't done enough or nothing's coming or it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're just going to be who you are and that's it and that's the end of it? Why would that happen? It's because of the accidental programming through our circumstances. That's not your belief. Somebody not doing better than you put that shit there. And most of the times, the person that's not doing better than us right now is the old version of us. Truth, the brain will protect by any means, including drinking, 100%. Usually, the person that created the thoughts we don't agree with is the old, sick, outdated version that we're attempting to grow out of. Appreciate these again, dude. You're like modern Gandhi, seriously. This is I really appreciate that. I truly love that. I do a lot of mind work, a lot of practice, a lot of mindfulness, a lot of awareness, a lot of energy work. But also I think out loud and I really do my best to express myself. And everything that I understand here is all stuff that I had to understand within me. And I had to break my old belief system, dude. How do you keep sober? You just don't drink. That's what sober is. Sober means you want to drink but aren't. I'm not sober. I don't drink alcohol, so I can't be sober from something I don't consume. That's what beyond sober is. Sober, not so. I'm so sober. I'm not sober. And so we look at this. See, I was trying to not to say that. No, that's not what I was trying to say. Anyway, so that's the whole thing. So what we practice, we become, right? And so going back to the other day, if you're a server, if you're trying to, hey, thank you so much, Jay Fabro. If you wanted to be a server in a restaurant, you just don't, and you've had zero experience, you have to accommodate another server and learn what they say, learn what they do. You got to learn how to hold the thing. You got to learn how to put stuff on top of it. You got to learn how to deliver it. You have to learn how to multitask. And then eventually, as you do these things with practice, you get good at anything you practice, you are recognized as a server. So you had to pretend to be a server. You had to act like a server before you became a server. And the beautiful part about becoming a server is you're now more fluent in what you do. You can handle more. You can do more. You can multitask. You could ask people how they're doing, offer them a fucking beverage while taking their dessert order while leaving the plate at the same time and cleaning up that water because they are just blatantly disconnected from like common decency. You're the shit. You're a server. You ever watched a bartender? Yeah. And yep. And yeah, exactly. You're like, dude, it's like next level shit. They didn't show up with the ability to flare. They didn't show up with the ability. They may have had the foundation, but they had to practice being a bartender before they became a bartender. You had to practice being a server before you became a server. You had to practice being an alcoholic before you became an alcoholic. You had to practice being depressed before you were depressed. You have to practice being happy before you are. You have to practice healing before you're healed. You have to practice thinking forward before you're in the moment. You get good at anything you practice, including not practicing. And so I bring this up to go, this is why it's so difficult not to stay sober. Is because the only thing we're practicing is not drinking, not becoming someone who doesn't need to drink. How to practice healing. Sit with yourself. Allow your thoughts. Write down what you like, what you don't like. Journal. Or for me, I use voice to text. So this is part of my healing process. So I show up and I have no idea what I'm about to say. And I look at comments and then I express myself based on what I read and what I see. And then I allow my thoughts to kind of take me in the direction that's appropriate for the conversation. John Cena! And so from there, I am starting to realize certain things. And as of recently coming back live and spending a couple hours with everybody, my dreams are better, my energy is better, my productivity is better, my patience is better, my diet is on point, I'm more motivated to do things. I can sit without wondering if I'm doing enough or not doing enough at all. I scroll with purpose. So when I'm on TikTok, I'm not out here just aimlessly taking on bullshit. I am learning from people like Gandhi. I am learning from podcast guys. I'll entertain myself with some cat videos and all that fun stuff, and I'll get microscopically invested in the fucking Selena Gomez drama and all that stuff. But as soon as I start to realize that the cocktail, the chemical cocktail was affecting me being here and enjoying myself, scroll on, dude. Like, as soon as it starts to shift, as soon as I realize I'm getting too invested in negativity, fuck Hailey Bieber. I had my thought, I'm on to the next. Fuck that bitch. Right? You just go. And I give myself permission to be here. Like, I'm not supposed to be anywhere else. We are all exactly where we're supposed to be. Because if we weren't, we wouldn't be here. When you add up everything that's ever happened in our lives, we all end up in the same amazing room together. This is facts. Hey, what's up, Terspin, oh what up? I got too tired of who I was. That's amazing. I love that. We gotta get, there's really, now that I think about it, like 5 reasons why people change. Either you're forced to change. It's called a forced reflection. You're forced to take a look at your behavior because of what the results you're getting are not preferable. Damn, why am I in jail? I don't even remember yesterday. A forced reflection, right? Then there's the other side of that, which is I'm just fucking tired of me. I'm so annoyed with me, and I'm going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm tired of my shit, dude. I have to do something. I have to actively start doing new things. Otherwise, I'm going to repeat the same stuff. So you're just so annoyed and just so over it. Just so over it. Alcohol is poison. And so you go Did I have liver pain? I used to when I was dying. I just drank through it though, until I died. And then here's the 4 reasons why, or when people start to change. When they've been through enough pain that they have to, liver pain or whatever, right? Emotional turmoil, death in the family, whatever it is, best friend, whatever it is. You've been through enough pain that you literally can't handle any more of it. So you're forced to literally go like, I'm going to take this fucking pain into the gym. I'm going to take it on the road. I'm going to take it into arts. I'm going to take it into personal development. I'm going to take this fucking pain and I'm going to transmute that pain into purpose. That's what happened to me. I died, dude. Like, I was tortured. And I could not possibly experience more pain. Like, I drank through the pain I thought was pain my whole life. And then I went through the fucking death process of liver failure and cardiac arrest and all that. That pain was so detrimental, dude, that there's absolutely no way that I'd be willing to go through that again. Nowadays I would, because I'd be twice as happy. But my point is that the amount of pain that my body, my mind, and my soul went through, I'd never want to do that again. So what do I have to do to make sure that that never happens? So this is the result of me drinking like I care about tomorrow. I don't drink because I care about tomorrow. And what I do is take care of myself, my mind, my body, spirit, all that stuff. So I am not even remotely capable of considering alcohol because that's not even an option. It just isn't. So when you've gone through enough pain, you're forced into change, right? The next one is when you've learned enough that you're inspired to, right? You said doo-doo. So like, for an example would be like, you hang out with me long enough, you're going to be inspired to start a business. You hang out with me long enough, you chill with me here on TikTok or in the room or follow anything, the TV show, the podcast, read a book of mine, join a program, whatever it is, you are going to want to, on an energetic level, go like, I could do literally anything and all I've been doing. Thank you so much. All I've been doing is making myself feel like shit. No, I'm done. If Kohdi can do it and he died, I'm in it. Let's go. Then there is when you've received enough that you're able to. What that means is maybe you've been given a tool or a resource, right? Maybe you've been like a program or like a book or something. Like you physically weren't able to do the thing, and now that you've received enough, you're capable of doing it. And you go like, shit, dude, if only I had a program. If only I had a person. If only I had a thought. If only I had a perspective. If whatever it is. You finally have obtained what it is that you're looking for, that you're able to actually change. And you're excited about that. Any one of those areas, you and Scott Freda. Yeah, dude, Scott Freda and I are friends. Freda's awesome, dude. He's inspired me to get more poetic with my storytelling. And actually like get more involved with how I share personal growth through alcoholism, mental health, depression, anxiety, all of that stuff. Freda's his shit, and I'm so proud of him, man. Like he's done some really, really amazing things, and I love what he's choosing to do with his life. That's absolutely phenomenal. But that's the thing, though, is we tend to wait until it's too late. Wait until we're in enough pain before we decide we matter. What are the signs of what you went through? Because I'm afraid that I'm going to go through it. Well, here's the signs of it's developing alcoholism. The signs of the first one I think of is if it's hard to eat without drinking. If one of the first thoughts you have when you wake up is alcohol. If the thought of not having alcohol gives you anxiety. If you're becoming physically dependent on it, as in you can't wait to get through the day so you can get to your drink. If you have poor sleeping habits, as in you drink alcohol to go to sleep. Paulina, what's up, girl? You drink alcohol to go to sleep, but you still aren't fully rested. If your depression is high and you're drinking to ignore those negative emotions or weightful, for lack of better words, emotions, heavy emotions. If your anxiety is starting to spike and you're using that to curb your anxiety. What's up, Lions Breath? If you are, if you have to have a drink to curb social anxiety, you're developing alcoholism, which is a dependency on alcohol. physically dependent to calm or fix your nerves or whatever, or emotionally dependent for you to feel confident and secure. That is developing a dependency. Now it gets worse when you're throwing up and still drinking. When you don't care what alcohol it is as long as it's alcohol. When you're starting to have the shakes, you might be developing a dependency. When you are starting to gain a lot of weight. I was 200 pounds when I was drinking. I'm 180 now. You guys see, I'm 180 pounds right now, dude. I'm a big dude for my size. But I was 20 pounds heavier with alcohol, of just meat. My whole face was just swolio, dude. Like my whole body. I lost 60 pounds in 11 days. I was 142 when I got out of the hospital. I was 142 pounds when I got into the gym, because it took me 18 months to recover, maybe 145, and I couldn't lift more than 15 pounds in the gym. 15 pounds. But I've gained roughly 40 pounds in muscle and strength and healthy fats and all that stuff over the last 4 years, right? So moving back into developing alcoholism, also if you have pains, if your sides are starting to hurt, right? Underneath your right side, your ribs, that's your liver, but if your right side hurts, it's not because your liver hurts, it's because your liver is swelling. If your liver is swelling, then it starts to press against all the other organs and guts and low intestines and all that stuff, or large intestines, and it starts to press against your rib, and it makes it kind of hard to breathe, right? You can even feel it in your chest. Left side, I don't miss any of that. I know, dude, it sucks. Do I have hair? I do. The left side, under your ribs, that's your spleen. If that hurts, it means your liver and spleen are working too hard. If you're starting to get a beer belly, you're starting to take on fluids, and you are literally filling up with fluids, man. You're filling up with bilirubin, you're filling up with water, you're filling up with all kinds of fun stuff, which means you may have to be drained. They had me on water pills for 6 months. It sucked. And then you have your kidneys. So if your lower back, these behind you, you're like, ow, acting like grandpa. You're dehydrated. Your kidneys are working too hard. Remember this, man. It is so imperative that we just consider this. Yes, our machines are absolutely phenomenal and can handle ridiculous amounts of pain and suffering, but that's not a part of life. That's not supposed to be something that we should do. And more importantly, it's not something that is a necessity. You don't have to be hurt to be strong. You don't have to hurt yourself to feel like you have what it takes. And you don't have to allow other people to inflict pain emotionally or physically on you so you could prove that you could handle it. None of those things are a reflection of how strong you are. They are a reflection of how little love you have for yourself. If you love you, you're not going to hurt you. And most of us don't know how to love ourselves. Most of us don't practice that. Most of us think love is going to show up and then we're going to learn. The unfortunate part about that is the love that we do receive is the love we think we deserve. Why do you think we get involved with people and places and things that continue hurting us? We accept that as love. And then as we move through and move on to the next person or the next job or the next circumstance, we go, it's not as bad as the last one. They must love me more. It's not as detrimental as what I'm used to. So this must be good. Remember, less pain isn't more pleasure. Just because you don't feel bad doesn't mean you feel good. How's it going? It's phenomenal. And so on that note, we want to practice loving ourselves the way we want to be loved, man. I love me. Remember, if no other person in the world was around, if I went outside and every car was gone, Andy, thank you. Every car was gone and I never saw another person, I would be packed with love. I would love me. I still love me every day exactly the way that I want to be loved. And the most amazing part is as I've healed myself and as I continue healing myself, I'm not perfect. I don't want to be. My purpose is in my expansion and my growth. Thank you, Isaac. Hopefully I said that right. Isaac. My purpose is in expansion and experiencing myself. The amazing part is I'm also teaching people how I want to be loved, the type of love I'm willing to accept. So anything less than the love I give myself, not for me. Fela, not for me. If someone isn't willing to love me the way that I love myself, it's a hard no. Not gonna happen, dude. I will stay J-Fan, bro, right here and love me with popcorn and my cool shirts and do whatever I do. And the most amazing part is I have attracted someone that loves me even greater than, in my opinion, than the way I love myself, which is just a reflection of, like, I have to know what love feels like, what it looks like, what it embraces, what it entails. I also have to know what it isn't, Miss Emily. I have to know what love isn't, because we teach the world how to treat us, right? We accept what we believe we deserve. So as we raise our self-worth, not global worth, self-worth, then we find ourselves in these positions where we're willing to say no to pain. We're willing to not settle. I don't care if you offer more than what the last person has. It's still not up to par with what I offer myself. So, no. I don't care if what you offer is better than what I have. It's not up to par with what I give myself. So, no. I'm going to say that one more time, dude, because it's so powerful. I don't care if what you're offering is better than what I've had. It's still not up to par with what I give myself. It is so much more empowering and humbling to be able to sit with yourself and know that you have everything that you need, that you are capable of loving you unconditionally, that the love that you feel is what has always been inside, that you don't mind being silly with yourself, that you don't mind saying no to opportunities that don't reflect the amount of love that you've been practicing giving yourself. If every time you look in the mirror, you go like, dude, you look good today, and then you surround yourself with people that don't say anything like that, don't indicate anything like that, and that's what you believe you deserve and you want, it's a hard no, bro. Emotional boundary. I'm not gonna like you. You don't even talk to yourself the way that I talk to me. So that's just proof that we're not on the same plane right now. Say it again for those of us that need it. Just because you offer more than what I'm familiar with doesn't mean that it's up to par with what I'm willing to give myself. You are willing to give yourself peace and patience and gratitude and expansiveness and time. You are worthy of all of those things. They don't happen to you. They happen for you. When someone says that they love you, you don't feel their love. You feel your love. I love you, dude. If you feel that, and that makes you giddy, that's not me. That's you. You feel that. You feel what you generated within. You couldn't possibly touch my love, and I couldn't touch yours either. But I could use you as a permission slip to activate the love within. So this is why it's important that we practice loving ourselves into a future instead of hating ourselves into a better past. Forgiveness is letting go of all hope for a better past. The past is going to remain exactly as is as long as you continue thinking of it in that way. But you can practice loving you into the oblivion of love and light and peace, gratitude, abundance, respect, humble, like all these absolutely amazing things that you don't have to work hard, man. Practice loving ourselves into a future instead of hating ourselves into our past. Exactly. There is no other way to really say that, man. To continue punishing you, or for us to continue punishing ourselves in the hopes that the past is going to be different, it's not. The past changes when you do. This is why when we start loving ourselves and practicing self-love, which is affirmations and all those fun things, that's what, like, all of my programs are designed from a place of self-love. They're designed to help you reprogram your belief systems, your perspectives and angles and ideas and concepts and attributes. So when you look at what happened, it's different. So I say this to go, yeah, I say this all the time. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that includes your past. But you can't continue looking at your past from a hateful place and expect to see love. You must step further into that space of love and then give yourself permission to love on your past. From that illusion, from that truth, from that perspective, from that energetic place of love, you are allowing your past to exist without your emotions. You're able to, I started forgiving your past life. That's amazing. It's your past life that led you here. And I am thankful for your past life too. And you could thank me for my past life as well. You could thank the universe or God or whatever you want. But the point is had that not existed, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't be here like this. We wouldn't be capable of growing and expanding and experiencing in the exact ways that we are. All of that had to happen exactly the way it did for us to love each other in the ways that we do. We are for each other. Spiritual journey, what's up, girl? We are for each other. We're all here as a collective energy to the collective consciousness. We all win when we all win, and we're all winning. You taking care of you is taking care of me. So as we grow, as we practice these techniques, as our energy shifts, and as we allow things to be what they are, we disconnect our emotions from what we think is important. We're allowed to let go of the pain of the past. We're allowed to blatantly disconnect from it. And the reason for that is you are still worthy of love regardless of how much pain you're willing to deal with. You don't deserve more love because you're willing to hurt longer, case. Your willingness to suffer is not a reflection of how much love you have. It's a reflection of how little love we're practicing with ourselves. I'm going to say that one again, dude. Our willingness to continue hurting ourselves, our willingness to continue suffering is not a reflection of how much love we have. It's a reflection of how little love we're practicing with ourselves. To love you is to allow yourself to disconnect from pain. To love you is to accept the pain for what it is, a lesson. You are either winning or you are learning. You are not failing. Just because it hurts doesn't mean you didn't learn. Just because you didn't like it, hey, thank you so much. Just because you didn't like it doesn't mean it wasn't for you. Just because you're in pain doesn't mean you're not healing. We have to feel the pain to actively make healthy, conscious decisions on what we don't want and transform into someone that is incapable of going through that type of pain again. We only need to do it once. Our willingness to continue suffering is not a reflection of how much love we have. I know we love to think about this. You joined the program? Dude, I'm so stoked for you, man. Unlabeled Sobriety is coming out in the next month or so. I've been working on it all morning, and I've got videos that I'll be recording probably starting next week. Maybe even this weekend. 5 months sober? Holy shit. Are you 5 months recovered, Blood Raven? Recovered? Recovering is putting energy into becoming someone that doesn't want alcohol or doesn't need to escape a toxicity. Sobriety just means you want to drink, but you're not. You're using willpower. Dude, thank you so much. Any advice to stop the negative thoughts when you stop? That's really interesting, and I love that. So I want you to think about this from this aspect. Thank you so much for the roses, and you guys are amazing. You're not supposed to stop a negative thought. You're supposed to observe it. And there's no such thing as a negative thought. We have to allow this to go. This is why the introduction to Unlabeled is just about belief systems. If you believe that there is something called a negative thought, then you are going to operate as if everything that you don't prefer is happening to you and doesn't need to be there. That's just not true. There's no such thing as a negative thought. There's no such thing as good or bad. Those don't exist, and they don't have to exist if they do. These are all perspectives, and these are all practices. If we hang on to the concept of negative and positive, then we're polarizing our ability to adapt and understand the depths of what's happening. So, you ain't shit is just 3 words. There's no emotion attached to it. You don't have to have an opinion. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. If you actively have a response to that, fuck that guy. Okay? It's because you believe that you have to defend that. You think that what I said was negative. It wasn't. It's just 3 words. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. How you feel about that doesn't change the fact that it's just 3 words that aren't true. It's not true. It's not true. It's not true. You ain't shit. It's not true. It's not true, dude. What are you talking about? It's not true. How you feel about what I just said doesn't change the fact that it's not true and that it's just 3 words. Your emotional response and reaction is based on you thinking that me saying that is negative. It's not. Kick a puppy, bro. It's just, what is it? Kick a puppy. Kick a puppy. Kick a puppy. I always got lost in syllables. Another 3 words. Kick a puppy. Your mom, bro. It's just words. There are words that we choose to attach an emotion to that either define us of where we don't want to be or incline us to move towards where we do want to be. You're fucking amazing, dude. You are so amazing. If you're in a negative place, you're going to think I'm lying to you. You're going to take that and go like, it's bullshit. He's just lying. He's a robot. Half the people in my inbox think I'm a fucking robot, right? You're going to find reasons why that can't be true, why it's not true. I want it to be positive, but it's negative because it's not a reflection of my belief system. It doesn't make sense. That's contradictory to what I believe to be true. I believe that I'm a negative person doing negative things and I deserve shit and I ain't shit and all this shit. So when I tell you that I see you as the human and I say, dude, you're fucking amazing. And that restriction right there, you refusing to accept it, that's the work. That's you struggling forward. Thank you so much for the roses. That's you struggling forward. That's you going, wait, no. I have a code, a neurological pathway that it's supposed to be like this. And you're saying all these things. You're saying these things that contradict the pathway of what I've been thinking. I didn't choose to think it, but it's fucking there. And dude, you're amazing. What do you mean? You're amazing. If your belief system isn't working for you and isn't allowing you to accept that absolute truth that you are amazing, then you are struggling forward. You are healing through this shit. You're healing through a belief system that you didn't create for yourself, because you would never create a belief system that would make it difficult for you to accept the fact that you're fucking amazing. It's absolutely true. So, there's no positive or negative. What do we want to do with this information, right? What was the first activity you got into after you left the hospital? Drawing, 100%. Healing through love, 100%. So we practice these concepts, we practice these ideas, and we say these things. I know you may believe, you may have committed to the possibility that you ain't shit, or you're not enough, or you're not deserving of love, or you like sobriety isn't for you, or health and happiness is not on the way, whatever. You may have committed to that, but just because you believe it doesn't mean it's true. And this reflects back onto what I was just saying. What I'm telling you is true, but it's hard for you to believe it. That is where the work is. That's where recovery is, right? That is the recovery. The recovery is you accepting new truths and letting go of old beliefs. Our belief system is something we hang on to that drives us forward, that literally guides our every decision. When you walk forward knowing that you are packed full of love, right? Knowing that you are absolutely phenomenal, knowing that you have everything that you need, right? Knowing that you deserve everything that you want, that you've survived everything and you're the strongest person that you know. Everything is working out for you. You don't have to worry about anything because you've survived everything in your past and everything always fucking works out. That there's no reason to pretend like you need to stress out because all things work out as they're supposed to. You don't think that you're supposed to be somewhere else because you feel like you're supposed to be exactly where you are. As you start to develop these new truths, not beliefs. You don't have to believe a truth. You just know it to be true. This is where religion and all these other things come in. Faith, right? It's a faith-based thing. There's a possibility it's not true, but I choose to believe it, so I have faith. If it was just true, you wouldn't have to believe anything. That's the interesting part. Truths don't need to be believed, but we have to practice believing them before they become true. You have to practice believing that you're the shit before your brain goes, oh, that's right, we're the shit. And then what happens is, as you accept that in practice, in time, is you have a new concoction. The concoction is no longer that shit sitting at the bottom of the cup. You are literally this new concoction of love and progressiveness and light and positive, optimistic energy. And every single thing you do is built on how strong you are. Not because you've been strong, but because you feel strong. Because you know you're strong. Not because you're trying to be healthy, but because you are healthy. Not because you're trying to get things done, it's because you're getting things done. It's not because you're trying to love yourself, it's because you have so much fucking love for you, it's unfuckwittable. You just step further and further and further into in the opposite direction of where you don't want to be, which is low vibration. It's been down here. You've been down here for so long that thinking about living up here, hell no, dude. That's like crossing the Sahara Desert. What are you talking about? But this is recovery. If this is where we're going, up here, this is zero. If we've been living down here, hey, what's up, Shella? If we've been living down here for so long, when we look up to that shit, we're like, hey, what's up, bro? There is no fucking way. There is no way that I'm gonna. That is way too far. I couldn't jump high enough to fucking reach that shit. That's because that's not where we're trying to reach. That's where we're going. Listen to what I'm saying. As you're recovering, this is not what you're trying to reach. That's where you're going. We accept that to be true without any proof. Initial proof. We have to practice going, I know where I'm going. I'm getting better. I'm recovering. I'm getting healthier, getting stronger. I'm loving myself more. I'm loving me, loving me, loving me. I'm doing good. I'm getting better. Holy shit. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I feel fucking great. I feel good enough to drink, but I'm not going to. Damn. I'm getting so much better sleep. My diet is on track. Holy shit. I have so much energy right now. I need to go outside. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going for a walk, and then I'm drinking more water, and I'm getting more rest, and I have more sleep. And then, holy shit, am I closer than I fucking thought? Now it's no longer a belief. It's an absolute truth. And holy shit, I didn't know I'd ever make it here. Everything I thought when I was drinking, when I was miserable, was completely untrue, because holy shit, I'm right fucking here, and there's absolutely no way I would ever go back to the bottom. That's recovery. I need to be here. You are here. More importantly, you want to be here. That is what self-sabotage. Oh, got that. How not to sabotage. Well, the easiest way not to sabotage is not to practice assuming that you don't have what it takes or you're not doing what it's supposed to be. Or another way, you deserve... Okay, here's the thing. This is how our belief systems work. Remember, until it becomes a truth, it's just a practice. Self-sabotaging, what that is the illusion of control, the illusion of predictability. The reason why we sabotage things that are good for us is because it gives us the feeling like we could predict the outcome. It gives us the illusion of control. So what happens is we're doing really, really well, and then we have this belief that it's not going to last very long, or that happiness or abundance is short-lived and it's not going to be here very long. Don't even fucking think about it. And as we start making real progression, starting feeling really good, we start to second guess our worth. We start to recognize that it feels unnatural. And as we start to feel really good, we start to go, hang on, hold up, hang on. No, I'm not supposed to feel, I haven't worked hard enough. I haven't done enough. I've struggled my whole life. And I don't know how to exist as a happy, healthy person. So this, even though I feel good, it doesn't feel normal. It doesn't feel real. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Before someone takes it away from me, I'm just going to ruin it. Now I know exactly where I'm going. Back down the rabbit hole of pain. Back down the bullshit. Now I can predict where I'm going to land. And I know exactly what to do when I land there. I'm just going to have another drink. That we self-sabotage so we feel like we're in control of our destiny. We feel like we're in control. I could cry. The trip is on the other side of that feeling is the muscle growth, is the the expansion, is the energetic force right when you're ready to give up. That is the moment of ignition. When you're going, it's going too good right now. Holy shit, there's just too much going on. That is the moment where on the other side of that is called truth. Remember, it was a belief until you felt it. And now that you felt it, you can't believe that it's true. What? No way. I am actually a happy person. There's no way. There's no possible way that I'm a happy person. I worked my whole life to be here. It only took me 2 weeks to get here. It has to be harder than this. I had to have worked harder than this. There's no way. I struggled my whole life. I came from despair and poverty. Poverty, dude, anguish, turmoil, dude. Like I had nothing. And it only took me 2 weeks to actually become a healthy, happy person. There's no way. Absolutely. Denial. I have to work harder. Let's go back down. Let's do it again. And now that's considered a lapse. That lapse, every time we do that, we make it harder to get out of the lapse. It's something called withdrawal kindling, which means every time we continue finding reasons why we don't deserve to be happy, we make it harder for us to reach happiness the next time. This is why we need to continue pushing. You're either going to struggle forward and through to your destination, or you're going to struggle to the illusion of reaching where you don't want to be, or reaching where you want to be, and then ruining that on purpose, thinking that you have to work harder. Remember, happiness, it's difficult to get there, but it's easy to stay there. Remember, the second you feel like giving up is where that breakthrough is happening, because you're actually feeling a truth override a belief. You're starting to step into a space that you've never been in before. Remember, dude, we're afraid of places we've never been. We're afraid of people we've never met. We're afraid of thoughts we've never thunk before. You feel stupid when you're like, I just want to go play with puppies. I don't care. What do you mean? You start acting outside your character. Happy people do weird shit because we don't care. We just don't want to get sweetie. Let's go. We're just going to go. Just fuck it. We're just going to go and just do it. And you're like, what the fuck? I feel like a kid, man. And then you're like, hang on. And then we get kind of wrapped around. Like, what do people say? Oh, shit, motherfuckers are looking at me and shit. Okay, hang on. Now I'm overwhelmed. Drink. Okay. Back to a familiar pace and equal amount of pain. Shit, I can manage my life here, but as a happy person, it's so easy to be happy. It feels unnatural. Let me ruin it. Right? Where we allow other people at that point, if we haven't practiced boundaries, we allow other people to step on us. We allow other people to bring us down. It's because we're here and we're reaching this. We haven't got here. We feel this. We're getting there. We're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then an old friend or your parents or somebody comes in. You watch some bullshit, or you have a bad day, or there's something at work and you're like, I don't wanna. Fuck it. Right? This is where the work is. And that's what recovery is. Recovery is using that time within sobriety to build a foundation where your worst day is still, like your worst day, happy is your best day faded. Like, you will never allow yourself to go down that route again. But also what's cool is in recovery is because you've, it's Bryson from Beyond. Finally did, I just hit 3 months. Holy shit, my man. That's so badass. I'm so proud of you, man. That is, okay, so 3 months sober is different from 3 months recovered, and that's where I was going. So recovery is building such a strong foundation with health and happiness here that you don't live in fear of drinking and going back down here. Like, you're good, right? The other part of recovery is breaking all the neurological and addictive behavior patterns and emotions and feelings and concepts that keep you afraid. What that means is, like, you're so far healed that you can dip and know that you'll be fine. But also, once you break all those addictive patterns and you've gone back to a state of control and you can manage yourself, I know many people who used to be physically and emotionally addicted to alcohol that now drink on occasion, because they don't drink from down here. They drink from up here. Happy, healthy people get happy, healthy results with alcohol. So alcohol is not going to add any more value. Like, if you live up here, there's nowhere else to go. So alcohol may make this space a little more interesting, or maybe your bad day is like right here. But the point is if this is all you're going to get with drinking alcohol from a happy, healthy place, most people don't even drink anymore. They're just like, fuck it. It's literally not adding anything else. And that's recovery. Recovery doesn't mean permanently sober. It doesn't mean not drinking. It means becoming someone that doesn't have a problem with alcohol, or more importantly, someone that has a healthier relationship with that specific substance or with that specific person. You in a program? No, I'm the creator of 2 of the most powerful sobriety programs on earth. Happy, healthy people get happy, healthy results from a happy, healthy place. That's recovery. 100%, girl. 100%. Happy, healthy people get happy, healthy results from a happy, healthy place. That's what that is. Remember, dude, nothing's funny. You are. Nothing's boring. You are. And so as we shift our perspectives and we step further into recovery and less in sobriety, remember this, as we step further into recovery, we are less in sobriety. Sobriety means you're struggling to say no. You would like to drink, but you're not. Every single time you find a reason not to drink, you're stepping further into recovery. That's where we want to be. We want to be in that recovery to where you're so recovered, you forgot that you ever even had a problem. And 100% of the people that I work with that have either been through the program, that are sober, and still struggling to say no, or just don't drink anymore, people I've worked with one-on-one, they go like, dude, I don't even know how I did that for so long. Like, recovering was easy peasy in contrast to the length of time I punished myself with that literal poison, man. And they go, I thought it was going to be impossible. I thought it was going to hurt way worse. I thought I was going to lose everything. I thought this, that, and the other. And that's because alcohol literally manipulates you. It's a parasite. It amplifies the darkest parts of your mind when you're sick, when it becomes a medicine. It is amplifying the lowest elements of your existence and completely indoctrinating you into thinking that you can't live without it. It's just not true. Every person that ever stopped drinking was convinced that they were the only person in the universe that couldn't do it. Never had addiction. I'm here just because you are so inspired to be healthy, happy. I love you. That's so awesome, Sandy. I love that. I didn't even know I was an alcoholic until discovering your page. I'm 26, 4 days sober now. Holy shit, yo-yo. Speaking of yo-yo, woo, that's badass. Look, dude, if you don't have a physical addiction to alcohol, you're not an alcoholic. But if you're drinking exactly the way an alcoholic would, then you're acting like one for sure. So before you place that label, this is the reason why I have a program called Unlabeled Sobriety. It's about breaking the limitations of our labels, beyond sober, sober, not sober. Make sure that before you call yourself an alcoholic and you commit to that and you use that as a part of your story, that it is fucking true, because that will become a part of your story. 100%. It changes the way you perceive yourself. It changes the way you perceive other people. It changes the way you interpret information. It changes the way you see your success. It changes everything as soon as you place a label on that. I say this especially for people who are not alcoholics but are drinking like one. If you are programming your mind to assume and believe that you are an alcoholic and you don't have a physical or emotional addiction to alcohol, then you are programming yourself to become one. You're going to continue acting like the alcoholic until it becomes true. That's what a belief is. If you believe you're an alcoholic, you're so much further to becoming one. You just don't have the addiction yet. Been in recovery for almost a year and sober for a year and a half. Thank you. You're helping me. Dude, that's awesome. I love that. 3 years off age. Dude, fuck yeah. It's so badass. That's a wise counterpoint. It's so important that we recognize where we are. The words, this is why we have like neural language programming and processing. The words we choose to use literally define our existence. Why do you think stories and poems and all these things hold as much weight? Can literally move us to tears. 1,385 days? Goodness gracious. It's okay to go cold turkey as long as you don't have like a physical addiction. Like if you just stop, remember this, like if alcohol has become your fuel source, when you remove the fuel source, your body needs to pull fuel from somewhere. If your tank is empty, then you're going to stutter. Your body's going to try and figure out what to do. It's going to try and get fuel from places that don't exist, right? But if you just drink a lot of alcohol and you have some basic withdrawal symptoms, you may have a hangover and you might be fine. But for anybody that's struggling to drink less and is living in fear of seizures, major withdrawal symptoms, drinks a stupid amount, if the amount of alcohol that you drink right now would literally kill somebody that's never had alcohol, then I have something called the single shot method. You can go to single shot method. Sum up sobriety in 3 words: love on yourself. That's it. Love on yourself. Or practice loving you is another one. Love on yourself or practice loving you. Like, dead serious. Sobriety doesn't guarantee happiness, but happiness guarantees sobriety. Happy people. Single shot what? It's called the single shot method. You can go to singleshotmethod.com. We've 200 people, 203. Like, if I was on stage, I'd be like, hey, everybody, outside that door is my booth. If anyone wants to stay in contact with me or wants access to all my resources, whether it's a 6-step recovery guide, totally free, access to the single shot method, totally free. You want to jump on 2 weeks of accountability system, I'll just reach out to you every day for the next 2 weeks to make sure that you're on point. You hit the link in my bio, dude. You've got access to the Beyond Sober program, access to Beyond Sober clothing. You can get shit like this. My moment of clarity was worth the lifetime of pain. All of the other shirts that you see me in all my TikToks. All of my resources, hundreds of articles that I've written about personal growth, mental health, physical health, nutritional health, sobriety. All of that stuff is public for you to have access to. There's no reason for us not to take care of ourselves. And just hit the link in my bio, dude. Share your information. I'm not going to spam you, right? You could even ask me a question there. Also, if you were interested in, say you were going to therapy and you're like, my therapist has never been an alcoholic and has no fucking idea what they're talking about, I'd rather work with Kohdi, then you could apply to work with me. That's on the website too. It just says apply. And then we get a chance to speak and talk about where you are, what you're doing, and so I could guide you to where you really, truly want to go. Link in bio for that. But also you could ask me a question. So I say that if you would like a personalized response and there's something like really, really important to you, feel free. There's a little message box. You drop your information. It's all anonymous. And I'll either record you a video, I'll send you a text message, or I will just respond to your email. I want to make sure that you have all the answers that you need. Most of the time. The website is beyondsober.org, or you can just hit the link in my TikTok page. So if you go to my page, see all my TikToks, right above that, it'll say beyondsober.org. And that's where it's at, man. Hang on, I saw that big question. How long are you in recovery? That's a good question. That's the first time someone's asked me that. That's really interesting. Because the answer to that is, I stopped recovering from alcohol abuse 4 years ago, maybe 4.5 years ago. It took me 18 months to recover. It'll be 6 years in July. So if I calculate that, I haven't had alcohol since July 11, 2017. In recovery means how long did it take for me to just realize that alcohol is not for me. I don't want alcohol. I don't care if I think about alcohol. It's not a thing. I'm back to being a regular person that doesn't identify as sober. That was 18, I would say 2 years. It would be roughly 2 years before I really said that. But that's because I died, man. I lost my legs and shit, had neuropathy, I couldn't walk, liver failure, all that stuff. So most people that do minimal work will call themselves in recovery for a long time, because the energy that they're putting in isn't to help them become someone new. It's to become someone that is really good at saying no to what they really want. Those people call themselves alcoholics. So they say alcoholic in recovery. Alcoholic in recovery is someone that identifies as somebody that has a physical addiction to alcohol, and they still find it difficult to say no. Thank you so much. Someone who is recovered means that they've broken the physical and emotional connections to alcohol, and it's not a problem for them to say no, and they have no desire to drink. That's what Beyond Sober is. That's why the term ex-alcoholic exists. 10, 16, 17 had kidney and liver failure, transplant. Holy shit, Metal Stacy. That's bananas. That's 2 bananas. That's a lot. That is so much stress on your body, dude. I know. Holy crap, man. You're doing better though, right? So that was 2017. So you've had roughly the same amount of time. So you're what, 5 years, roughly? That's amazing. I love that for you. And my question to you is, are you healed? Is your body okay? Are you putting in the energy to actually function in accordance with what your body is capable of doing? Are you skydiving, or are you just still sitting on the couch? When you get a whole new liver and all that shit, when you do all those things, dude, you've been infused with a second opportunity at life, man. And this is what you see is I take my second opportunity at life very, very peacefully, and I respect my opportunity to maintain this body on earth. My body is better, and I'm trying to live life. You are living life. So check this out. If you're saying you're trying, what you're saying is that you're not doing it. You are doing it. So with your second opportunity at life is you're living life now. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. And so when we're provided that opportunity, whether it's forced like liver failure, kidney failure, or when we're sick of our own shit, or when we've learned enough that we're inspired to, when we've received enough that we can, remember, every moment is our second opportunity at life. How did I come to this mindset? Practice. I've taken hundreds of programs, hundreds of courses. I've read like 3 books. But I'm a master coach. I've spent over 20,000 hours, more than that, helping people develop their own mindset. It's practice, man. I show up, I take care of myself every day. And I bring this back to awareness so you understand like how much energy I personally put in on myself. I'm in the gym. I'll be in the gym 30, 40 hours a month. I'm in meditation 23 to 25 hours a month. What is the other thing that I do? I'm cooking for myself roughly 30 hours a month too. So my physical, my mental, and my nutritional health, that's like 30, 60, 90 hours of my month is dedicated and committed to just taking care of myself. And then I'm live here on TikTok. So if I'm here on TikTok or I'm creating a program doing things like that, let's just say if I went live every hour for the month or every day, I would have 30 hours in just expressing myself in learning me. But I usually go live for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So you're looking at another 60 hours in just expression. My whole entire existence is geared around how I want to feel. I want to feel good, so I do more good things. I want to be excited about the future, so I think incredible thoughts about the future. I don't live in fear. I don't live in anxiety. I don't live in paranoia. I don't bask in negativity. I don't rerun the past. I don't surround myself with negative people. I don't watch negative things. I don't watch the news. I don't say negative shit. I'm not out here fucking imbibing toxicity. I'm not worried about the people I used to know. I am living right here in the moment. In every single moment as often as possible. And I'm bringing as much awareness and attention to who I am, where I am, and where I'm going. I give a shit about tomorrow. And that's all because I care about right now. Tomorrow is on its way, regardless of how I feel about it right now. So I choose to feel good about where I'm at, so tomorrow arrives in peace, right? Please release Zip Up hoodie with a quote on your shirt now. I do have one. It's on the website. Oh, a Zip Up? I don't know if I have a Zip Up. I got a regular sweatshirt, I think. Actually, the other one that's on there, the one that's selling the most is Sobriety is my superpower. Wonder if I have it. Sobriety is my superpower. Actually, a couple amazing people that I've worked with personally, they have this one. Hang on. Sober clothing. There we go. So, check it out. Sober, not sober. I love this. Sober, not sober, dude. Sober, not sober. Sorry, not sorry. Sober, not sober. What else do we have here? Same shirt. I think this is for ladies, though. Sober, not sober. And then we have Beyond Sober. This is super sick. Beyond Sober. Yeah, bro. Way beyond sober. Astronauts, man. Beyond Sober in the helmet right there. What is the other one? The one that I was just talking about? This is the one that's been killing. Like, a lot of people have been getting their hands on this one. This is Mama Bear. Oops, there you go. Go back. Mama Bear. Fierce, protective, and sober. And then it says Beyond Sober on the belly. Super duper sick. And then here's the other version of that. Where'd it go? There we go. Now I'll go back. Yeah. She's super cool. I need these in my life. BeyondSoberClothing.com, man. Like, this one sells like crazy, dude. Like, I think they're like $23 or nothing. But the sweatshirt that I was just talking about is Sobriety is My Superpower. A lot of women love this one. Sobriety is my superpower. Hang on. So, moving back a little bit. Sweatshirt. Super basic, super cool. And then this is what it looks like. Sobriety is my superpower. And then here's another one of my favorites. This thing is super cozy, dude. And then I don't know if there's anything else. I got a ton of shit. Like this is all sobriety gear, dude. This is all my stuff, all my designs. But you're more than welcome. He came out of nowhere. Interesting. I got a bunch of fun stuff. Oh, so this is what I was talking about. This is the shirt that I'm wearing right now. My moment of clarity was worth a lifetime of pain. And then I have that same one for the ladies in this kick-ass crop top. Same thing. Super sick stuff, dude. So if anybody's even remotely interested, beyondsoberclothing.com. It's very rare that I promote all this stuff because I'm not just trying to I'm not trying to sell shit. But there's a lot of people that dig sober gear. And as a professional graphic designer and an illustrator and web developer and all that stuff, I like to take what we say here and turn it into cool slogans and shirts and stickers and stuff like that. People dig it, man, and I dig you guys all for it. With all of that said, I'm going to make myself some lunch, and then I have a meeting here in just a few minutes, and this is a Thrive consultation. So what that means is we use the Thrive nutritional supplements to not just curb withdrawal symptoms, but to dramatically enhance our physical day-to-day. So we're able to sleep better. Depression is zero. Anxiety goes away. We generally just feel better. We've got less pains, less joint pains. Our diet's on track. And what the Thrive nutrition supplements do is it fills all the nutritional gaps that we accidentally cause by having a poor diet and more specifically by drinking alcohol. So if anybody's even remotely interested with that, oh, thank you for subscribing. I love you. If anyone's even remotely interested on that, I give the entire Beyond Sober program away at no charge for anyone that decides to invest in their physical health. So if you're willing to invest in your physical health, I'm going to give you the program for your mental health, man, 100%. Everything that I talk about, everything I do, access to everything that I am and what I'm creating. You guys can get your hands on that with the link in my bio. Simply by sharing your information, I will send over everything for you. And over the next couple weeks, I will have a whole new website for you guys to enjoy, which will basically just be kind of like a landing page for all the opportunities and all the tools and resources for you guys to take advantage of. On that note, I love you so, so much. Thank you for hanging out with me today. 40,000 likes almost. I can't thank you enough, man. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you for being exactly who you are. Thank you for sharing yourself with me in the ways that you do. Thank you for continuing to arrive. Thank you for bringing yourself to every table. Thank you for bringing yourself to every room. Thank you for focusing forward. Thank you for struggling forward. Thank you for continuing to support me. Remember, as you're supporting me, you are also supporting yourself and vice versa. Thank you for surviving everything that you have. If everything didn't happen exactly the way it did, we wouldn't be able to love each other in the ways that we do. You are absolutely phenomenal, and I look forward every day to supporting you and being a shining light in that journey of darkness. But the coolest part is we're all walking each other home, and some of us have a flashlight. I'm going to give the flashlight to Cheryl Lynn next time. She's going to get it. Oh shit, 41,400. Dude, I love you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Real Medina gang in the building. I love you, bro. I just caught you, man. I appreciate you, dude. I'm going to roll out, make some food, love on me for a bit, and I'll be back soon. For anyone that's struggling with the darkness, with anger, with depression, with anxiety, with rage, things like that, I'm encouraging you to watch the last video that I just released. It's super powerful, and try not to cry, right? Try not to cry. Unless they're good tears. Happy tears. We don't cry because we're weak. We cry because we've been strong for too long. All right, y'all. I'm going to roll out. Do me a favor. Just like my mother always says. Just take care of you, please. Will you please take care of you for me? Maybe? Question mark?